Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Anubha Kumari Jamal, and I am a manager in Training and Placement Division of IIMT College of Pharmacy, Greater Noida. So I would be sharing details about some of the aspects of personality development program, which is taught to students for their growth and betterment and being for the corporate readiness. So the topic that I am going to discuss in personality development program today is for the soft skills. Okay. So, what basically is personality development planning? So, basically this is a process that helps students to reflect, to introspect, and to understand what are their different goals, academic and career objectives that they are looking forward to, and how they can develop plans that would be best for their development and achieving those goals or objectives that they are looking forward to. So what I can say is personality development program is basically it's a person gets completely equipped with good things in terms of professional growth. Now, the professional etiquette, professional attire, professional way of working, everything is, collaborated and compiled in one big domain, which is personality development, program. So, personal development planning is one of the part of PDP, right? So the PDP helps students to become more effective at monitoring and reviewing their progress. It means that because of introspection and making oneself more clear, students are actually understanding what and where they have to improve, where they have to put some more effort, right? Where they have to just brush up on the basics. So PDP basically helps the students to become more effective at understanding and reviewing their progress. I mean, what they have done till yesterday and what they are going to plan it for today and how they are going to modify by reviewing the progress done from yesterday till today and what they are looking forward in the future. So there's a different, aspect which a point or a goal that is defined by each and every student, and that goal has to be achieved only by working effectively towards that. So monitoring is one of the parts. Now, what they learn is basically their understanding of themselves. So personality development programs actually helps people to understand where they are lacking and where they need some little efforts to become more effective individual, a more professional person. So what they learn and how effectively they are learning it all depends upon their capability and the focus that is given to them by different people, the faculty or the different, mentorship that they undergo into. So consider how they learn and become more effective learners is another point which I've just mentioned, how PDP helps students to be. So it also, PDP also helps in recognizing and articulating their strengths and weaknesses. I mean, students will actually understand what they are looking forward to and what they, where they are lacking in terms of their weaknesses and, strengths. So strength, everybody understand that we have good strength and we can work upon it and we can, go ahead with different points which will help us to be professionally fit. But then there are points which is as per the demands of the corporate, sector, they have to work upon that. So even though they are good at many things, they still need to work upon it. And for the strength part, they have to, synchronize things in a proper way. They also have to understand which are the different extracurricular opportunities outside the curriculum, the basic studies that they are doing or undergoing. They have to do some extracurriculum activities so that they can actually develop themselves as an individual. How they can actually work upon getting more employable. I mean, how can they enhance their employability through self-awareness, self-direction, and an ability to articulate the learnings to employ? Let's say if somebody is taking a course, like they are going their graduations and post-graduation courses they are undergoing, and they want, their final goal is to get employed in a good company. So if they are looking forward to a corporate sector, an employer, they have to understand what are the demands of those employers, what are the need and specific requirements of those employers. So they have to work according to that, and they have to make themselves such equipped with the latest demands and knowledge of the market. Now, not only the hard skill, but the soft skill is the most important part of personality development, because 70% of a person employability depends upon the soft skill of a person. So it is important there. They also have to understand, the students also have to understand what are the academic, personal, and career development, aspects, and how they are interrelated. So they have to work upon it. So PDP actually gives focus on the academic, personal, career, and development, all at one go. And because it is interchangeably important, PDP actually enhances a student's intellectual growth, physical growth, professional growth, professional etiquettes, and the way they are presenting themselves in terms of professional attire. So it's all combination of everything that makes a person, from a student to a professionally equipped, personality. So it's all about that. Soft skills. Now, what do we understand by soft skills? Soft skills are basically those skills which is mandatory, which is the basic requirement of any employer. Now, what they think is, soft skill is not just, it can be mugged upon from somewhere. It is something you actually, develop. You work every day, you practice, and you add on good values to your life, to your behavior, to your day-to-day activities, and then you emerge to a different person who is professionally sound, intellectually sound, and the person actually knows how to behave, enact, and respond to given circumstances. So soft skills, if I put upon some of the key takeaways, soft skills are basically non-technical skills that impact the performance of an individual in the workplace. The chances of students getting selected at any school or workplace is mostly dependent upon soft skill. Even though students at their school, college, or work have good soft skills, already have soft skills, but then they have to enhance it. They have to develop their soft skills every day, day and night, and be effective as per the demand. Because every day things are changing, more and more requirements are expected from the from the employees. So students have to develop their soft skill at work, school, some of the volunteer activities, and some by participating in training programs and classes. The soft skill should also be highlighted in the resume of the students. It is important. So you see, students has to understand when they are preparing their resume, or any individual who's preparing a resume should always highlight their soft skills in their resume and the cover letter. And those soft skills are basically demonstrated during the job interviews. The soft skill is very important. So how does the soft skill work? Soft skills relate to how you work. It means the working style, the communication method, the interaction, interaction methodology, the process that the person use are called soft skills. Soft skills include interpersonal, that is people skill between the people, among the people, sorry. Then the communication skills, listening skills, leadership, empathy, among others. So these are the top skills every employer seek in a candidate they hire, because soft skills are important for just about every job. So by this, we mean that in any job, and for that matter, any place that you are, whether it's your social gathering, whether it's your, you know, personal relationship, whether it's your professional relationship, whether it's a workplace, wherever you go, soft skills matters the most. It is considered a topmost priority, you know, in terms of getting likable, getting respected for a particular place. When we have good soft skills, we actually enhances on that. Then only people will consider us as a professional person. Will understand, the other people will understand that yes, this guy is actually showing professional etiquettes, showing professional, you know, way of handling situations, the communication skill, the body language, all comprises into that soft skill. Now, how does soft skill, continues to help a person get hired by different companies? Is basically hiring managers basically typically they thinks about hiring students basis on their soft skill. They understand that their company has certain work parameters, certain processes, but then they also understand if they are going to hire somebody, they will obviously give some training according to their workplace, right, to get the work done. But before that, they want to understand whether the person is actually looking forward to be trained or not, whether actually the person who is here for the interview is looking forward to learn or not, to understand how the company is going to train them, is willing to accept that or not. So those things that the hiring managers see in the by judging upon, judging would be a little strong word, would be hiring managers basically look into the criteria of how a person fits in terms of soft skill, because someone who has to be successful in the corporate sector needs to understand that soft skill is very important, right? Someone who is excellent in technical aspect, job specific skill, but cannot manage their time or work within a team, or they not be good at interaction with people wherever they are working, the workplace, the corporate sector, or for that matter the social gathering, will not be acceptable, will not be acceptable, will not be considered good enough, even though they are very good at their subject matter. So the companies actually think about how and where these people will fit into their company in terms of having good soft skills. What are the different of soft skills? There are types. Soft skills also have types. So people analyze another person basis of the soft skill the person in front of them are showing. Those are personal attributes. Those are the personality traits and the communication abilities of the person in front of the first person is what make the first person think that the person in front of him or her is showing good personality traits, showing good soft skills trait. And they could be successful if they have an alliance or they are working for the same, a company, a hirer, a person who is hiring the other person, they actually look forward to hire the person only basis on the good professional etiquettes and soft skill that the person is showing. Because in an interview, it is not possible to judge everything. Yes, some part of the technical aspect they can check into, but then soft skill is something which is, which can be shown in few minutes of interview, let's say 15-20 minutes of interview, a person who's employing people, freshers, or another people for the company have a very strong understanding on taking the basic criteria of the soft skill showcased by the other person. So soft skill characterize how a person interact in his her relationship with others, and it is a very important aspect. So there are different, ingredients of soft skills. What are the basic composition we can say of soft skills? So basically, it is adaptability and how the person is adapting to a particular situation and a condition, and taking into, and responding to a particular environment with people, so adaptability, how they are gelling with them. The communication, I mean, the body language, whether it's a verbal or non-verbal communication. So verbal would be like somebody is saying and, putting their words in order to communicate their thought process to the other person, or the body language, which is non-verbal, how they are showcasing using their fingers or eye contact, the gestures of their hands, the standing positions, your facial expressions, all those come into, non-verbal communication. So soft skills include that. Compromise, as in, how a person is compromising with a certain situation if that is beneficial for the company as a whole. So, the level of compromise a person can take into consideration when it's demanded by a corporate, employer. The creative thinking ability is one of the another good aspect of soft skill, how an individual think in a creative manner, how the person can develop good or positive vibes from a particular situations and think beyond the box and give a positive result. Dependability, as in how, the employee can be dependable upon a particular employee, or how one person can depend upon another person depending upon the good professional good and professional etiquettes and behavior shown by the first person. So, it's all, dependability is there. Leadership, as in what kind of leadership skills that the person is showcasing, the candidate, the students are showcasing, right? So employers take into consideration how the particular person who is hired as a fresher from a college, or a person who has been in industry showing leadership skills, how they think and they enact in the given situations. So those things are taken into consideration as a part of soft skill ability, right? So the listening, another would be listening part, how the person is giving focus on somebody saying good things or bad things, and, taking out the complete gist of what was the total communication or the conversation happened, giving a proper, focus hearing is what listening is all about. So how the person are doing it, right? Soft skill also include the work ethic. How, it is very good for any person to show good words and, enact, but, in a long run, how an individual enact, how a students enact when get hired by a company and in their workplace, how they are actually, they are working and they are showcasing their work ethics. So those points are important, whether this particular student or an individual is showing integrity towards the workplace or not. It is shown in their behavior of working. The soft skill is a platform where those traits are also considered. How an individual work in a team, that is teamwork. Teamwork is also a soft skill trait. Because, if you actually want to grow in your life, it is important to take your team together. not only on individual growth, but on a team growth. So once the person is behaving and respecting the team spirit and working in a team, then only as a whole, all of them are growing for a common goal of the company. So teamwork matters a lot. Positivity would be another soft skill trait, as in, in any given circumstances, how a person shows optimism, optimist quality, and being positive on a particular condition is also behavioral aspect and a part of soft skill. So positivity also always give answer to problems. There are always so many conflicts or problems arising in workplace, or many at times different, social gathering of various. So how a person is enacting in a positive manner, that is, that is considered for the soft skill part. Time management, which is very important. Time is very important. Everything depends upon time. So how a person is, optimizing on the time is another part, right? So time is important, and how you optimize and use your proper, your work to be done in a proper way, and considering what is urgent, what is important, what is not urgent but important, what is important but can be done later, and what is not so important or urgent. So one has to demarcate in all those four parameters. So time management is one of the three key ingredient of a well-developed intellectual who is having good soft skill traits in in themselves. So another aspect of soft skill would be motivation. Let's say in a situation how a person behave, and if somebody he sees that he or she sees that there's some other person is down, is morally down, or is into depression, or is not feeling good, is feeling low. So how the other person motivates, or somebody who are performing very well, let's say in a team, in a company, somebody are performing well, but the but the team leader, or the person at good person with good motivational skills, soft skills, will enhance the team spirit by saying good words and motivating them with good vibes, giving examples and illustrating good methods of working. So they actually motivate. So motivation is one of the another factor of soft skill. Critical thing, problem solving. Another point would be problem solving. So problem solving is like once one well, there are a couple of people working together, or engaged into some kind of common goal of working. There are sometimes problems arised among them, or as a company they have to face some problems, the crisis. So what are the different you know methods used by a person to solve those problems in the most effective manner, so that the result, the final solution is good for the person and for the company as a whole. So, students, if they understand how to solve problem, they do a proper analysis of situation, and, and then trying to find a solution instead of just pinpointing the problem. Only then they can develop themselves in terms of soft skills and in a good professional, in coming days. So the next point would be critical thinking. Critical thinking is like, thinking out of the box. Like, in a given situation, people generally respond as per their previous experiences. But critical thinking is, in a given circumstances, how to enact and behave with a critical manner. To think out of the box, to find a solution which is not so prevalent, not so, common, to find some uncommon, solutions to a particular situation, which is beneficial for the person and the company as a whole. So critical thinking is important. Conflicts resolution. This is one of the parts. Uh, Many times, because of some misunderstanding, because of some lack of information, there arises some conflicts among people, among companies, among individuals. So how a person enacts and behave in order to resolve those conflicts by providing solution, by understanding where the issue started, and how that can be you know uh, reflected in the best possible positive outcome by giving some inputs of positive aspects and finding solution and putting there. So that's a very good trait of conflict resolution trait, which is another part of soft skills. The most important is negotiation for any soft skill among a person. Negotiation. So negotiation is many times both the parties, first party and second party, or employer and employee, or let's say two individual, or let's say two companies. They have their own points, and they both of them are correct at some conditions, but they are not agreeing to a common resolution, a common point. So negotiation skill is something which is very much important for surviving in this professional world and in normal social relationship, or in the personal relationship or social gathering wheresoever. If we have good traits of coming to a common solution by doing a little compromise, sacrifice, or little understanding in terms of giving for a common benefit of both the parties, then only things can work in a proper way. So that's negotiation. So soft skill in terms of negotiation is a very important trait. So now that we have known what are different kinds of soft skill, we also need to understand how to get soft skills. Students can learn hard skill, the technical languages by books, but soft skill is not like that. It is a combination of emotions, perception, insights, and how they actually understand the other people. So it has to be learned in a very different way. It cannot be like mugging up notes and understanding the concept and working on that. No, it cannot be done on a traditional classroom method. It has to be learned in a different way. There's a different parameter to measure soft skills and how to evaluate that. Soft skill by job training programs. Let's say somebody who is wanting to get hired by a good company needs to work upon their soft skill, and they really need to understand how different companies are perceiving a student or a individual in terms of soft skill before hiring them during the interview. So they need to understand what are the different soft skills. The students need to understand what are the different soft skills they need to learn if they are lacking it, or how they can brush up if they're already having it. So job training programs actually cover soft skills. They discuss about different soft skills so that the job seekers know what they are and the importance of highlighting them on their resumes. So in the resume, the soft skills are highlighted, and the job trainers actually provide, these programs actually provide emphasis on different points which needs to be worked upon by individual and also written in the resume to elaborate their good personal interpersonal skills and soft skills. So anybody can go and get it from free online courses to improve their soft skills, or they can also attend some of the job training programs if possible, for understanding from one-to-one kind of a meeting or programs. Soft skill by on-the-job training. Now, if somebody get a chance to get selected in a company, then they also learn good soft skills and different soft skill while they are working somewhere in a company, in a workplace. So if somebody is working for a very long time, let's say, or for a while, a couple of years, a few months, we can say, and chances are that they already know, they have developed some of the soft skill by analyzing and seeing other people in the workplace. But then they also need to understand that, in one kind of soft skill cannot be treated everywhere. So, depending upon the situation, person has to behave, enact, and, come to a behavioral trait which is positive. Let's say, for example, I say, if somebody is working retail and they actually have to work in a team, so there's a team environment. So then they have to find solution to, first of all, be a good team player, work in a team, team. So teamwork, how they are working in a team, how they are, resolving issues, the conflict resolution, interpersonal skills, all those, the skills are actually developed while working in a team environment in a retail sector. So if somebody is some customers walk down into the retail, office or retail, let's say, workplace, and is unhappy, then as a team, each person can work to find a solution to make the customer happy and satisfied by resolving the conflicts or solving the problems that may have arisen. Soft skills by education and volunteering. So if you are new to work, think of other activities you have done, either through school or in volunteer basis, school or colleges, whatsoever. Chances are you have already known how to communicate, adapt to changes, and solve problems. So basically, what happens? Anybody, any person who is getting in education in any subject, whether it's in their colleges or their schools, or if they have done some activity, they actually, learn how to work on their interpersonal skills by working in those teams, by working in those, sectors where education is important. So they know how to communicate among themselves, how to adapt to the different challenges and solve problems. You can also reflect on the soft skills you need to develop. So what happens is that, somebody who's willing to develop as a good professional, a good individual with good soft skills trait, need to reflect inside and not just outside, the inside environment of person. What is that I need to work upon? What is that I need to, change in order to be a positive person and a soft skill person, good soft skills person. So one has to work upon that. Because external circumstances are like that. You cannot, most of the time, you cannot change this external circumstances, but you can always learn how to respond to it. Okay. Why are soft skills important? The soft skills are important because only when you have good soft skills, you actually gel with people, you have a good tendency of meeting positive results and showcasing soft skills and being optimist, good problem solver, conflict resolution abilities have been developed inside you. Then the place become more healthier, and you become more successful. So soft skills are important. Communication skills, teamwork, adaptability enables you to connect with the co-worker, express your ideas, receive feedback, and achieve consensus. So it is like, you actually you come down to a common goal with a positive vibe only by working on different parameters of being in team, showing your leadership trait, showing your teamwork spirit, working on, on compromising situations, working on compromising situations where, things are not working in favor, giving a positive result, considering your customer first or your seniors first before only putting your ideas. Those are different parameters one has to work to express their positive ideas and express their optimism that yes, they consider that good things will happen if all are together, showing good soft skill. So soft skill is important. So how can I improve my soft skill? Let's say any student comes and asks me, ma'am, tell me how do we improve our soft skill? Or any person asks, how can we improve our soft skill? So those, soft skill, there are the skill set which is already there in your life. You have learned and you have, improved, and you have been working while you were in school or colleges, or you have been working somewhere, or you have attended some seminars, or you have attending some classes. But then, how can you improve that? If you really want to work upon that, then you can take up some online classes or some leadership training program, or some mentorship programs, where you can learn from the corporate leaders, from corporate mentors, who can help you and guide you to become more practical, but at the same time good individual in terms of having good soft skills. So you can build your interpersonal skills by simply identifying what are the different areas of growth that one person wants to. Right? How can we work upon our emotions? How could we, divert our negative energy into positive energy by working our emotions? Setting a goal to improve. Those things matters. So soft skill matters. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope some of these key points that I've discussed may impact in your common the goal that you're looking forward to. Thank you so much. My name is Anubha Kumari Jamal, and I am a manager in training and placement division with IIMT College of Pharmacy, which is situated in Noida, Uttar Pradesh. Thank you so much, and have a nice day. Bye bye.